Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
And that's it. Shut the place down. The gates go down, the locks go in, the key's going to lock, and Alex, I said, are you leaving?
This is the plaintiff, Angelo Carrion. He says he brought his 1998 pickup truck to the defendant's shop for repair. And a couple of weeks later, he gets a call from the cops who inform him the truck was stolen from the defendant's property and was now at the impound. He told the defendant to get his truck back. He did, but now the guy won't return it to him unless he pays him back for getting it out. He's got another thing coming if he thinks that's gonna happen. He's suing for $3,455, the blue book value of his truck, which is being held hostage. This is the defendant, Axel Rodriguez. He says the plaintiff brought his truck to him because he wanted to sell it. Since the guy couldn't provide the title, he wasn't interested in selling it. The plaintiff then left the truck on the street because he didn't want it in his yard. Meanwhile, the hothead has since threatened him. He doesn't know what his beef is because he helped the guy out by getting the truck out of the impound. And he's pretty sure he's going to win this case today. He's accused of trucking it up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,315 for storage fees, reimbursement, and storage fees at his yard.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Angelo Carrion, you are suing Axel Rodriguez, doing business as the auto doctor, for $3,455. What you say is a blue book value of a 1998 GMC truck. You have a counterclaim against him for $2,315. Impound fees that you paid on his behalf that you want reimbursed, and storage fees from the time of your dispute until today. Tell me what is going on, gentlemen.
Buenas tardes y muchas gracias
Okay,
for
how about we try
accepting
this
my
in English
case.
now? Let's try it in English.
Thank you for accepting my case.
Okay.
I took my truck to Mr. Axelrod for clutch repair. He completed the clutch repair, and when I took the truck out, there was a rattling noise inside where he fixed the clutch. It sounded almost as if there was a nut or a washer in there, and I take it back to him to fix. That's when the whole issue started, where on December 12th, the truck was...
What day did you take it back to him to fix?
I want to say the 8th of December.
Okay. And do you agree with that it's the 8th of December when he brings it back to you?
He has it towed there, yes.
He has it towed there the 8th of December. Now, the 8th of December, when he has it towed there, why is it being towed there?
He's bringing it for me to sell.
He's not bringing it for you to repair?
No, he says that the transmission went on it. He wants to sell the vehicle. And I told him I can't sell the vehicle without a title.
Is that accurate?
I thought about selling it, but I never agreed to sell it. I never agreed to sell it.
This is not a sophisticated question, folks. What is the truck there for? To be sold
to
or
repair,
to be fixed?
To fix.
What is the quote he gave you to fix it? Let me see the paperwork.
He didn't give me a quote.
Okay.
He said,
and according to you, it's there for you to sell.
Yes.
Not to fix.
No. If you can see
How
my
much
taxes,
did he agree for you to sell it for?
He wanted to try to get $1,000 for the
Did he give you
truck.
the title so you could sell it?
No, that's what the issue is. I couldn't take the truck because he never showed me ownership of the vehicle. He never had a title for it. And if you notice the
So
taxes...
what did you do? Why
He
is
left
the
it
car on your
outside.
property for 4 days?
He left it outside. I was out there for, I don't know how long.
Outside where?
He parked it on a street parking outside the shop.
Is that accurate?
Not on my
No.
property. I never took
Where
possession.
do you say you parked it? First of all, I thought that he had it towed.
Yeah, he had it towed.
If he had it towed, how can it be parked outside? The tow truck company isn't going to leave it on the street.
Yeah, they left it on. They dropped it off in a parking spot and left it.
The tow truck company leave it in a parking spot outside in the street?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. So what happens 4 days later? You get a call from the
Nope.
police because your car has been stolen. Your truck has been stolen.
December 12th, 6:30 in the morning, I'm notified by the lieutenant of the Marcusburg Police Department that my 1998 GMC Sonoma was in the custody of the Lower Southampton Police Department. And then I even signed a vehicle release report. And with this release, he was able to recover the
Yeah, but
vehicle.
why? Okay. So who ends up taking it out of impound? You do?
Upon his permission, I did.
But why? If he parks his car in the street and it gets towed, why are you taking it out of impound?
Thank you.
The tow company that we used that dropped off his car is the same company I used to go down there. And I told him about the expense, and I texted him about the amount, and he agreed. Go get it out. When I come out of work, I'll reimburse you for it.
Is that
It's on
in
my-
the text somewhere?
That's in my texts.
Show me the text that has that. So while you're looking for that, he takes it out of impound. He pays $650 to take it out of impound. What day do you take it out of impound?
A day before Christmas.
The day before Christmas, he takes it out of
Text me.
impound. The car is brought over to his place of business, right? He has it now. You go to pick it up, and what happens?
When I go to pick up the vehicle, I look at the vehicle. There's both of the mirrors are busted. The ignition's busted. The glass inside is busted.
Go back.
It's
Do
a
you have
mess.
pictures of the vehicle?
He wouldn't. Let me tell you why. I could have taken pictures even with my antique phone. But I said to Alex, you know what, Alex, forget it. I'm just going to take the vehicle and I'm going to take it with me. So he says, okay. He goes in his office. He comes back with a piece of paper, hands it to me, and the paper says, you owe me $150, $650. I'm like, for what? He says, this is what I paid for the towing and the storage and the days that I delayed in picking up the vehicle. And so he says to me, you're not taking the vehicle until you pay me. And I'm like, well, I'm calling 911. I go outside, I call 911. They're going to send a police officer, and all I hear Alex is saying, that's it, shut the place down. The gates go down, the locks go in, the keys go in the lock. And Alex, I said, are you leaving? I just called the police. He says, I'm out of here. He's out of there. And I'm in there like an idiot with my phone. And then I tell her, and finally I wait half an hour, the police arrive. And at the end of the day, I do have a Philadelphia police report, because that was a requirement to get the vehicle released from Southampton. And the police tell me, well, you already have a police report. It's recovered. You know where it's at. This is a civil matter. We're investigating murders and robberies and everything else.
Don't call
We can't do anything else.
All right, so here's what happens. I see that on, there's a couple of texts that don't really matter to me. And then it's 12:19, the car has not been removed yet. You say to him, I don't have $500 to invest in your truck the week before Christmas. Sorry. He answers to you, you still have not picked up the truck. Well, this is not an investment, Alex. You are recovering a vehicle that was in your possession. Please don't take my kindness for weakness. I work for some very powerful attorneys, and I am politically tied in. I will work with you and put up half. Need an answer now. Let's stay on good terms and out of court. Your response is, I'm having it picked up tomorrow. Can't sell without the title. He then says, I hope so, Alex. You are an excellent mechanic. I value this relationship. I will bring you the title. Let's see how bad the damage is. Hope truck is not totaled. Is the ignition busted? It's amazing how good it looks, just like you left it. Did you? And then, according to you, it looks terrible.
Looks terrible.
Do you have pictures of the truck?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it?
Yep.
What is your position? That he agreed to pay half of the impound fees?
Yeah.
Well, then, but that's not your position.
No,
that's not what you
half's
said
not.
in here, and
It's
that's not
not.
what he says you told him when he came to pick up the car.
No, when I sell the vehicle, I will get the whole thing. In other words,
But where's that in here?
Well,
I don't see
he
that.
said he was going to drop the title off so I can sell the car.
Yeah,
and
but
recover.
he doesn't expect you to take all the proceeds of the car. Where does he agree that you'll get reimbursed the $650? He's
Right
pissed
there.
off at you.
He
Listen
said
to
he'll pay for
me.
half of
Stop.
it.
He's mad at you, and he says, By the way, you're not doing me a favor. This is because a car you are recovering a car that was in your possession. Don't mistake my kindness for weakness. And your response isn't, dude, what are you talking about? Your tow truck left it parked on the street. I don't have to do anything. This has nothing to do with me, which is, by the way, the position you're taking in court right now. That's not your response. Your response is to run out and pay $650 to get the car out of impound. So why am I supposed to now agree with you that you have nothing to do with it when you're the guy who ran down and paid it? It's one thing if you tell me, well, Judge, he agreed to pay half, because that is what his text says, but you're not saying that. And when he came there to pick up the car, you told him pay me $650.
Exactly.
Yeah, but why?
Because
that position, that's
Your
why
Honor,
you're in court.
Your Honor, he jumped in the car, started up, and started to pull it out my shop without paying for it, without paying anything. That's why I had to close the shop up.
Yeah, but that's after you told him pay me $650.
No. He jumped in. He says, "I'm not paying anything," and backed up. I said, "Now you're going to pay."
At what point did you tell him pay me $325?
Well, no, I agreed to $325 plus the title. So when I sell the car, I can recover the other half.
Yeah, but none
and
of that is in your
recover his
text.
money.
So that when I sell the car, I'll be out nothing, and you'll get $400 for a car that was stolen while it was in my possession. So you're telling me it's on the street, and I want to believe you.
Yeah, no,
but
it's
I'm
on the
having
street.
some
I don't have
difficulty
parking.
because there's something called silence in the face of an accusation, and that's what's here. And you answer, but your answer doesn't say, what are you talking about? This car wasn't in my possession? What are you, nuts? It was on the street. Why don't you say that if it was on the street?
It wasn't my fault, Your Honor. He left it outside.
You can say that until the cows come home, but it doesn't look like you're being honest. Where do you work, sir?
Yeah.
I work for a mortgage company as a mortgage processor and about ready to change to fraud investigations.
Already called my boss. I warned you. I work in the city. High-powered attorneys, politically tied in. My boss, you're such a weenie. My boss already gave me case precedence on this. Dangerous path, my friend. Have your son research previous case law. You then respond, unless you're paying your bill, do what you got to do. You're not a man of your word. You will make a good political person. This is your last notice. All right, gentlemen. What am I supposed to do with the text where you tell him, and he ostensibly relies on that to get the truck out of storage, that you'll pay half?
You're supposed to
honor
that.
Honor that. All right.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, do you believe the plaintiff that the car was left in the guy's lot?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because why would the defendant pay to have the car taken back if he was in the right?
If the plaintiff had left it in the street and it wasn't his fault, you agree with her?
I don't know, because if it's cheaper to get it out of impound than it is to deal with the damages on the case, maybe he's just trying to cover his tracks and go the easy.
I kind of get your point that maybe he was almost doing it for customer goodwill. You're going to be the who's the tiebreaker? You're the tiebreaker.
I think the bottom line is he wouldn't pay if he knew he didn't need to, so.
Guilty mind, guilty conscience, guilty mind.
Yep.
Got your point going inside the courtroom.
So, you have the truck, right?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Okay,
It's in
that is his
storage.
truck.
Yes.
Okay?
Definitely.
All right. What I'm going to do is if it was good enough for you, it's good enough for me. I am going to order you to pay him $325 for the impound fee, because that's what you offered to him and that is what he acted on in order to go get it. You're not entitled to $650 that you deduct from when you sell the car, because that is not what you acted on. I think what you acted on was his promise to pay for half, okay? And you are not entitled to keep it. He's going to pay you the $325. You're not entitled to keep it, and you're certainly not entitled to charge storage fees while a judge resolves a dispute between you, because you're overreaching. The only reason there's a dispute is because you're overreaching and demanding the full $650 reimbursement, which is not going to happen. I order the plaintiff to pay the defendant $325, and upon that, I order you to release the car back to him. That is my judgment.
Honor,
Good luck, folks.
Your Honor, the car is damaged.
You didn't have pictures, right? Hold on one second, because I do want to see some. You didn't have pictures, did you? No.
No,
Did you have
ma'am.
pictures? Stop.
Yeah.
Did you have pictures?
Yeah, ma'am, I
Hand
did.
over your pictures.
You got
The ignition is perfect, right?
the truck's-
It's not popped.
The only thing is broken is the mirror, because when I had it in the bay, when I walked by it, I broke his mirror. And I have the mirror.
I beg to differ.
That's the only thing
Okay,
that's
wait, if you
missing
beg
on
to
the truck.
differ, you have to, I beg you to prove.
Put a house
no,
key
here's where we
in
go.
there.
Here, listen.
I put my house key in there and it turned.
Listen. I need you to prove to me the damage that was done during the theft.
Then the case needs to be dismissed with prejudice. So, I mean, I need an opportunity to show the damages that have been done to this truck.
You know what? I
What
agree
about
with
the
you.
transmission?
Stop talking. What was the phrase you just used a second ago? Dismissed with what?
Is it prejudice or not prejudice?
Yeah, what was it you said, though? What was it you were trying to say?
I was trying to say that I've heard you, because I've watched your court cases before, and sometimes when a case is, you're going to dismiss it with prejudice so you can come back and file it again when the damage
You should just go to law school. Just do it. It's your life's ambition. Just do it.
I got to probably would agree.
You know what? It's a good idea, and it is what I'm going to do.
Thank you.
As far as the 650, 325 argument goes, we're resolved. You are paying him 325. As far as the part of your lawsuit where you're suing him for damages to the car, I agree with you that you have not had a meaningful opportunity to photograph or prove, because it's in his possession and he wouldn't release it to you. So that part is dismissed without prejudice.
Thank you.
For you to bringing that part of your case again. Now listen to me though. You got a 1998 truck. It is not worth the amounts that you're looking at. So take a good look at it and make sure that you're going to be able to prove that that damage wasn't on it by the fact that it's from 1998 as opposed to
that's why I brought my witnesses.
And that's fine. So you need to be prepared for that in front of the next judge who hears that part of your trial. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is the plaintiff leaving the courtroom first after that little law lesson. Pretty good. So you still have a shot to prove the damages to the vehicle if and when you get a chance to get a look.
And I think it's very fair. I need an opportunity to actually go and evaluate the vehicle and see what kind of condition it's in to recover the damages that were caused. I mean, I put my house key in the ignition and it turned.
All right, so you're gonna go ahead and maybe we'll see you again, or maybe another judge will see you again. So she dismissed it with
prejudice.
All right, head right down this way. All right, so come on in here. You satisfied how this case has wound up?
No, I wish I would have got everything I came here to like everybody else, but it's I have insurance. If it's something that the insurance company needs to pay, that's why we pay insurance.
And what's going to happen to the truck now? You're going to give him a chance to photograph?
Well, as soon as he pays me that money, then I'll release it to him.
The 325.
The 325.
Okay, Harvey.
So, I mean, look, it's true that common sense in this case prevails. Why else would the guy pay to get the car out of impound if he wasn't the one who created the problem? That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Kraft Mac and Cheese is better than 90s hip-hop. We'll remind you of your childhood without making you feel incredibly old. Kraft Mac and Cheese. Best thing ever.
AI is incredible. It can teach you how to fry an egg and even write a poem, pirate style. Yarr! But it knows nothing about your work. Slackbot is different. It doesn't just know the facts. It knows your schedule. It can turn a brainstorm into a brief. And it doesn't need to be taught. Because Slackbot isn't just another AI. It's AI that knows your work as well as you do. Visit slack.com/meet Slackbot to learn more.
This is the plaintiff, Evan Cittadino. He says he's friends with the defendant's son, and one day when he was leaving their house, her two pit bulls made a beeline for him and started ripping him up. One dog locked his jaw on his arm, and the other grabbed onto his back and was actually hanging on it. Then they went for his throat, and he's really lucky to still be alive. Bottom line, he had to go to the hospital in an ambulance and had to have surgery. He's suing for $1,083.17, the money he still owes in medical bills. This is the defendant, Susan Philpott. She says she told the plaintiff to stay in the room because she was letting her pit bulls out in the house. And because the plaintiff was either too stoned or too drunk to listen, he went outside anyway. The plaintiff admits he kicked one of her dogs, and since the dog's trained to be a guard dog, he defended himself. Bottom line, the plaintiff was incoherent, didn't listen to her, and she's not responsible for anything he brought upon himself. She's accused of not teaching her dogs how to heal.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff is friends with the defendant's son. Here's the deal. Two of the defendant's pit bulls went nuts on him, one grabbing him by the throat. But the defendant says the plaintiff brought it on himself by inciting the dogs in a drunken stupor. It's the case of don't be stupor.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Evan Cittadino, you are suing Janine and Susan Philpott for $1,083.17 in medical bills that you sustained when the pit bull that lives in that house attacked you, according to you. What happened?
Well, first I'd like to say it was 2 pit bulls.
2 pit bulls.
But I was hanging out at the house with her son Keith for a few...
Are you friends with Keith?
Yeah, I've been friends with him for about 6 or 7 years.
Okay. Have you been to that house before?
Many times.
Okay. Were you familiar with the dogs?
I would say reasonably familiar with the dogs.
I mean, had you ever pet them, or that's not
No,
the kind of situation?
no. Yeah.
No. Are the dogs aggressive?
They're not aggressive, but they are protective of the property, and he hasn't known my son for 6 or 7 years. My puppies are 3 years old. He's only been coming to my house for about 2 years because he knows my son's friend, Eric. He grew up with him, and that's how he knows my son.
Okay, is your son here?
No, my son is at home.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, we were hanging out at the house for about 2-3 hours, watching a movie, playing video games. And I went to leave, and as I walked down the steps to go out the front door, the 2 pit bulls came running out of the kitchen. I turned back to run up.
What would normally happen when you were at that house?
The dogs were always locked up.
Locked up where?
In the top back of the house. It's sort of set up like a duplex.
Okay. So they would be behind a locked door?
The dogs were usually locked up all the times that I was there.
Okay, but would they lock them up and say, wait, hold on, let me lock the dogs? Or it was already a fait accompli before you walked in?
There have been times where the dogs have been in the yard and they're like, wait outside.
Okay. So what happened on that day?
On that day, the dogs weren't out. We were up in Keith's room.
Okay.
I went to leave, walked down the stairs.
Every other time that you were going to leave, would you have to announce that you were leaving so they could put away the dogs? Or no, the dogs were always away?
No, the dogs were always away.
So you're walking out, and what happens?
As I got to the bottom of the stairs, the 2 dogs came running from the back of the kitchen. And I saw them, and I turned and I ran back up the stairs.
And?
As I was going up the stairs, the first dog bit my left arm, locked. Second dog came running up the stairs, bit my back. And by that time, Susan, Keith, the friend Eric that she had mentioned, all came and grabbed the dogs. So as I moved to go to the room, the dog leapt from my neck.
Which dog?
The smaller one.
Is there a mama and a...
It's mother, son, and daughter.
So one of the dogs, which one, do you know?
Precious.
Which is the what? The mother, the son, or the daughter?
She's the daughter.
Jumps up and what?
One from my neck, like this, but I had turned my head. So I guess she got me like that. This is,
Oh my goodness, come over here. Yeah, come over here. Right here. Is that scar going to be there forever?
Yes. I have more pictures of additional scars.
Show them to me. While I'm looking at that, what happened?
He was in the room with my son. I have 3 gates. I have a driveway, a main gate, and another gate, which I have wood on everything. I have wood on my fences when my dogs are outside. When I let them out, he was there. I go to the room. I open the door. I said, boys, I'm letting the puppies out. Don't anybody come out the room. The next thing I know...
Why don't you just not let your dogs out until there's no strangers in the house? I mean, if you choose to have these kinds of dogs, there's certain costs associated with it. It's inconvenient. You can't just let them roam when there's strangers in the house, because this is what happens.
But I don't just let them roam. I
Right,
let
so
people
you
know.
went upstairs and you gave him an instruction. You realize how that could have been his jugular.
Yes.
Another inch and he'd be a dead man.
I went to the hospital with him. I was very upset, but as he was going...
So you went upstairs and you told how many boys are up there?
There was at least
boys
6.
or men? How old are you?
24.
25.
And so there were how many of them?
6 boys.
Okay, and you told them, don't come out. I am letting 2 pit bulls out.
I'm letting the dogs out to go to the bathroom. They're usually out just to go to the bathroom, and I call them back in and I bring them in.
Okay.
With that, Evan decided to leave after my son said, don't go out the room. Eric said it. Everybody said it. Don't go out the room.
Why isn't your son testifying here today?
He don't know what happened either because he was in the room. But Evan went down the stairs and he kicked Precious.
And according to you, did you kick her?
No.
Did you kick her to try to get her off you?
No.
Never kicked her?
No.
It says who he kicked her.
He told me when I was in the bedroom with him waiting for the ambulance. I said, Evan, what the heck happened? And he was like, I went down the stairs. I saw it wasn't Rook. I saw it was Precious. He said he kicked her to get her off the landing, and he turned around and went back upstairs. And then I heard screaming, and that's when I brought him in the room.
Did anybody tell you to stay in the room?
No.
And according to you, you went up there and told him to stay in the room.
I tell everybody, because I have all these notices that I have hanging on my fence. I have a 75-foot
I
yard.
can't even see what that is. That's supposed to be a notice?
This is the one that he would park next to every time he got out of my car, because he'd park his car the opposite way on my street. So when he would get out, that's the main sign he would see.
No trespassing. Guard dogs on property. They will bite, so stay off unless invited.
If you can see on the bottom where it says unless invited, you can see where I had to rewrite over it.
Okay, now who is supposed to be able to read this?
That's on my main gate, so
Okay,
it's
can I
gonna
just tell you that maybe you should just write on a piece of white paper and
Well, I
instead
have
of white,
others.
write like this, where you could actually read it, as opposed to this,
Well, there was
where it's,
something-
where's Waldo? You know, you got to try to figure out what it says. Please be careful, guard dogs. If the wood is on the fence, do not come in. Dogs do bite.
So are pit bulls more aggressive than the average dog?
No, I don't think so. I think it depends on the owner, and if you show the pet love, it'll show you love back.
You buying that? Is it all about the owner?
I feel that if the owner is mean to the dogs would be mean too.
So anybody here think pit bulls are a little more aggressive? What do you think? Somebody new who hasn't talked. I'm going to you.
No, I don't. Sorry.
I think they're a little bit more aggressive just because they're like bigger and they're just kind of like more of a, I don't know.
Fun aggressive dog.
Sure.
That's your point. Going inside the courtroom.
I understand what you keep saying, which is, oh, I warned him, I told him to stay there. He denies that you told him that. What do you think happened then?
He was under the influence of something when he got there. He wasn't listening.
Influence of what?
I have no idea.
Were they drinking up there?
No,
Were they
he was
smoking
that
up there?
way before he got
Were
to my
they,
house.
pardon me?
He was like that
How
before.
do you know?
Because my son told me.
Well, then if you guys know that you have some inebriated person up there that you're giving instructions to, how about not letting out the dogs?
I didn't know at that time.
Were you under the influence of something?
No.
Had you been drinking?
No.
Had you been doing anything else?
No.
According to your friend, is he still your friend?
I haven't spoken to him since August.
Yeah.
But probably not.
You end up in the room, and then the ambulance is called, right?
Yes.
All right, and the ambulance takes you away?
Yes.
And you go to the hospital?
Yes.
And they treat you in the emergency room and let you out that same day, or they kept you?
Let me out the same night. Yep. For 4 or 5 hours.
And what did they end up doing? Did they do stitches, clean you up, both?
They did a CAT scan to see if they hit any major arteries, to see if I was bleeding internally.
Right.
An X-ray on the forearm to see if it was fractured or broken. Antibiotics, an IV, some painkillers, and I believe that's it.
Do you own that home or do you rent?
My mother owns it. He tried to sue me before that, but we only have structural insurance, and I talked to his attorney. And
you don't have liability insurance for something?
No.
You have 2 pit bulls and you don't have any liability insurance?
My mom has Alzheimer's, and she let all that lapse. We almost lost our home to foreclosure because my mother suffers with Alzheimer's and she wasn't paying the bills.
And so he should have to pay his own medical bills?
I did what I could to protect him.
I mean, because if there's anybody who's not making a big deal about this, it's him. I mean, anybody else would be suing you for that scar. Did you see the scar on his face?
Yes, ma'am, I
It's
saw
going to be with him the rest of his life.
I saw
You know,
everything.
most other people would have gone straight to a lawyer and then sued you for the house.
And he
okay,
did that.
whether you have insurance or not, it doesn't matter. There's equity in the house, okay, because there's a permanent injury there and a permanent
We're in
scar.
a Chapter 13 foreclosure bankruptcy because my mother almost lost the house to foreclosure.
Almost lost the house isn't lost the house. She still owns the house, right?
But we have no escrow.
No equity, you mean?
Equity, none.
Equity, you mean?
I'm sorry.
That means that he's not entitled to have you pay the medical bills? Under what theory do you not pay the medical bills? Because it's either one of 2 things. It's the way he says, which is that the dogs have never been out when he's there, and when he goes out, all of a sudden, the dogs have been let out, even though you have guests there. Or it's the way you say, which is some guy walks into your house stoned or drunk. You give him an instruction, he doesn't follow it. Whoops, something happened. Either way, maybe the dogs just need to stay put.
But ma'am, he was there 5 times after he got bit.
So what? If
because
I
I talked to his
anybody
attorney.
else in his shoes with a permanent scar on the bottom of his chin would just find another lawyer who would sue you for anything you could have in the future. He's coming in here. The only thing this young man wants are the medical bills that he's out. And by the way, your math is off. You should have paid closer attention in school. It's off by just a few bucks. He wants the $1,085.82 in medical bills that he expended. You can't even do that much when you have a couple vicious dogs in your house.
I asked, can
you
I
have
speak
3
to
pit
his
bulls
parents?
and guests, and you have a drunk guy or a high guy upstairs, or just a guest who's not, and then he walked out after 22 instructions, and your son doesn't stop him. No matter how you paint this, how do you sleep at night without paying for these medical
I'm not
bills?
comfortable with this.
Did you
I
see
asked-
his
yes,
neck?
I was in the
Did you
hospital
see his
with him.
neck?
I was in the
No.
hospital with him.
You know what? Walk him over. Walk him over.
I seen him in the hospital when it happened.
Good. Now I want you to see what's there a year later.
I know, and it's terrible. And
It is terrible, right?
I'm not trying to act like I
No,
don't
you
feel
are.
bad. No, I'm not.
No, you are. And I'm going to tell you why. Because instead of sitting here saying, I don't have the money, Judge, I tried to work out a payment plan with him.
I did do that.
I offered to pay him X. I wanted to do Z. Every word out of your mouth has been, he came to my house after that. He acted like it's no big deal. I shouldn't have to pay, Judge. That's your attitude instead. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $1,085.82.
Well, how am I supposed to pay him? I don't have money.
You're going to pay him. That's how you're going to do it. You're going to get another job. You're going to work it out.
I'm on disability.
Let me make a suggestion to you. Listen to me.
Get the paper.
You know who can't have 3 pit bulls? You, if you can't afford liability insurance. Or guests. It's one or the other. But you don't get to put other people in danger.
I didn't put him in danger. He put himself in danger.
Well,
I tried to ask him, can I talk to his mother in the beginning? Because I told him that I'd work something out because I did feel bad for him because of the degree. But he also has to take blame for himself also. My daughter, I didn't raise them.
He put himself in
yes,
harm's way.
Yes, he did, and then he kicked her.
Right.
That's like punching somebody in the face and not
he has to try to defend himself.
But she wasn't doing nothing. If he didn't kick her, she wouldn't have went after him.
All right.
But like I said, he came, I talked to his lawyer. He's like, the lawyer said to me, do you want him at the house no more? I said no.
Okay.
That's why he don't come.
All right. All right, that brings us to you.
How you doing, sir?
I can't believe how cool you're playing this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can't change the past, right?
Well, take us through that moment when it happened.
It was pretty scary. It was really scary. 2 dogs coming right after you. You have no choice but to run.
Good thing you're here today,
Yeah, without
right?
a doubt. Without a doubt. I want to say thank you to Jessie Soma. She helped me out in the hospital a lot.
All right. Arby.
You know, the judge mentioned this, but this guy could have gotten a lot of money if he asked for pain and suffering. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Don't chew on that, Max.
Cooper loves that chew too.
Oh, now he's into Cooper's food. Wow, he is loving it. What do you feed Cooper?
Blue Buffalo Life Protection Formula. He never leaves a crumb. I love it because it's made with high-quality protein, nutrient-rich fruits and veggies, and wholesome whole grains.
Looks like we're switching to Blue.
Blue Buffalo foods are made with the superior ingredients your dog needs to thrive. Can your dog food say that? Visit feedbluefood.com to learn more.
This is the plaintiff, Scott. He says he rented a house from the defendant, and after Hurricane Sandy hit, it became uninhabitable. Now the defendant's turned into a real jerk, is withholding his security deposit, and he's not about to let him get away without and out ripping him off. He's suing for $2,100, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, Bill. He says a canal across the street from the house flooded in the hurricane, and 3 feet of water entered his home, broke a fuel line, and caused an oil spill. Luckily, there was no damage to the floor where the plaintiff lived. The plaintiff decided to move out anyway, left his place a mess with many damages, and as a landlord, he has a right to withhold his security. In fact, if anyone's owed money, it's him. He's accused of ripping off a tenant. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for additional damages and unpaid rent.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff rented a house from the defendant. Sandy hit, and the place was unlivable. But the defendant says the plaintiff left the place a mess, and the hurricane really didn't cause any damage. It's the case of rock you like a hurricane.
You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, Scott, you've asked to be referred to only by your first name. You are suing Bill. You've also asked to be referred to only by your first name. For $2,100, your security deposit from your former landlord. He is counterclaiming against you $5,000 because, according to him, you gave him no notice and you destroyed the place when you left. Tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, I moved into Bill's house September 2008. I gave him $4,200 cash, which was his request at the time.
And that was what? First
1 month security and first month's rent.
Okay.
Actually, I have a copy of that receipt right here.
And that was how long ago?
I gave it to him August of 2008 for September.
Okay,
rent.
so you lived there quite a bit.
Yeah, I lived there over 4 years.
Okay.
It's a high ranch. I lived upstairs.
What's a high ranch?
It's you walk in, you can go upstairs, you can go downstairs.
Okay.
So the defendant lived downstairs. I occupied upstairs. Lived there over 4 years. Never got a single complaint from Bill during that time. The problem started with Hurricane Sandy.
Okay.
Monday, October 29th last year. Storm caused huge devastation in the area. There was also significant damage to the defendant's home as well. One of the biggest problems was that the home's heating oil tank was knocked over, causing spilling all the oil everywhere. I spoke with the defendant that night.
So that it didn't spill in your living space.
No, it was the first floor.
But the smell
It was the first floor.
was difficult for you.
Yeah, the defendant said to stay elsewhere for a couple of days because of the fumes.
Right.
So a couple of days later, on the 31st, I went back to the house, grabbed some essentials, and it was really bad, Your Honor. The fumes were awful from the spill. The defendant didn't open any windows to air out the place, and the fumes just built up for days. There was no heat, no hot water. There was no power in the house.
All right, so you stay somewhere else, and when do you come back and realize the smell's still not gone?
Well, I actually didn't speak with the defendant until the 4th, which was Sunday, and he let me know he was taking care of everything and not to worry, and then he asked me for November rent. It was an uncomfortable call. You know, I said, look, you know, I'm sorry, but the place is not habitable in this condition, and I can't give you the rent until it is, and I'm back living there. And he gave me an attitude, and he was upset, and I said, look, I'm sorry, you know, this is the way it's got to be. I obviously wanted to protect myself. I didn't hear from the defendant again on the 9th, actually, which was a Friday night. I had dinner at a restaurant near the defendant's home. After dinner, I went to go check on the place, and it was still bad. There was still no heat, still no hot water. The place still reeked of oil.
Is it accurate that there was no heat and no hot water?
That's correct.
Okay. What happened, actually?
There was a 14-foot surge Monday night.
What city are you in?
Massapequa,
New York.
South Shore of Long Island.
Okay.
And I chose to stay home. I've been living in a house since 1980, 32 years. I've gone through many hurricanes, and in the past only the street would flood.
Oh, you're talking to a Miami girl. I know. Nothing's going to happen. Those meteorologists, they just make such a big deal about stuff. They love pretending that's going to hit. And then it hits. Right.
Then it hit. Boy, did it hit. And like you said, after 32 years, I just said, not really. And I was in the house. I was in the house around 6:30 at night and talking to one of my daughters, and I'm looking, and in the kitchen, water's coming in. Now, I knew outside there was probably like 5 feet of water by that time surrounding the house. I see water coming in the kitchen. So I said, Allison, I gotta go. I gotta take care of this. So I got off the phone.
What are you gonna do? Get a straw and start spitting like?
What I did is I took my 2 dogs upstairs.
Okay.
I couldn't leave the house at that point.
No.
Took my 2 dogs upstairs. Then I came back from my golf clubs.
Priorities. You're right.
Yeah, priorities. And then, of course, I came back with my big screen TV, computer, monitor, printer, or DVD player. And by that time, in 15 minutes, I was up to my pockets. It was 3 feet of
oh my gosh.
Canal water. So it was a mess. That night, I slept upstairs. Okay, I couldn't leave the house, and I couldn't be downstairs with 3 feet of water. In the morning, when I woke up, I went downstairs. It receded. There was no water in the house anymore, but the damage was already done.
Now you're left with just the damage and the mold and everything else.
So what
had happened to the boiler? Was it that? What was it?
Yeah, I have pictures. You want to see the pictures?
Yeah, I really do. Okay, so what caused the oil spill?
The line broke. I guess with the shifting with the water, it broke the line, the fuel line. And it's, as you can see, that's why I want to show you the pictures. It's confined under the stairwell, actually, covered by sheetrock and stuff like that. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying it was the smell was the oil was contained, and that's the purpose of that.
Right, but did it smell on the second story?
It probably smelled drastically, no, because what happened was I called, what am I going to do? I went downstairs, and I called, and they said, cat litter, Tide, detergent, white vinegar, baking soda, just keep putting that stuff down.
I'm sure that you tried like crazy to remedy the situation. That's really not the question. The question is the place habitable or isn't it? And there's 2 reasons why it sounds like it wasn't habitable in November. One of them is the smell. The smell is a very difficult thing to prove in court. You could video yourself going, but that's not very probative. But the second thing, which is like a slam dunk, is there's no heat and hot water, which is a landlord's obligation to provide. It's not, I understand it's an act of God and everything, but who's going to eat it? It's not going to be him if it's your obligation to provide. He doesn't have to pay November. Did you happen to have rent, the kind of insurance that covers you for when you can't rent the place?
No.
Okay,
No.
so we know who's eating that. Let's talk about the other stuff. According to you, you're keeping the deposit and suing him because there's damages to the place. So let's focus on the damages.
If you could take any possession out of your house before a hurricane, what would it be?
My cat.
Okay, good answer. What do you think?
My photo albums. It's the family, It's history.
Ma'am?
My personal documents. My bill.
Important but boring. You get the last word.
I'd take my jingle dress.
Your what?
My jingle dress.
What's that?
It's Native American regalia.
Interesting. Okay, I'm glad I went to you. Going inside the courtroom.
Window cranks, let's talk about that. What kind of windows are these?
Can I show you pictures?
Let's see them.
They're casement windows, the Anderson casement windows.
That are how old?
15 years old.
I'm right here.
Bailiff?
Oh, you.
There we go. Thank you, sir.
My bailiff gets very nervous when people walk towards me.
He stepped.
Okay, and so what's the deal? That you're looking at them and...
There's 9 windows in the house, 18 cranks.
Okay, and?
9 of them are damaged, either stripped completely. You can't open the window.
Okay, and did you strip them?
No, Your Honor.
What stripped them?
They were
Age?
like that when I moved in.
Okay.
They were about as old as the wallpaper, which, was probably from 1975.
Now, these are casement windows that are 15 years old. What did he do to break them, as opposed to that they kind of, that's kind of the life of the window?
I can't answer that.
I
Your
know.
Honor.
Well, you want me to. You can't answer it, but you want me to find that he broke them and has to pay you for them. All right, got it. It's not just if it happens during his tenancy, it doesn't mean he's responsible for it. If anything, it might be the opposite. Like, why are you renting a place that has broken windows? Like, you're supposed to be maintaining the place and on top of this kind of thing. All right, so the painting. The guy lived there 4 years. Why does he have to pay for the painting of the place?
All right.
Your Honor, the real reason we're here today is because the defendant lied to me about my security deposit.
What do you say you paid to paint it?
How much did the painting cost me? Of that 26, probably 1,800.
May I please see the proof of that?
I don't have the proof of that.
Okay, where do you think this is going? Okay, here's what we got. All right, I'm sorry that Hurricane Sandy happened for a million reasons and for a million people, but he doesn't owe you rent because the place was uninhabitable. He doesn't owe you window cranks because these casement windows, the cranks eventually go in 15 years. And the only thing he could conceivably owe you is painting, if I had any proof of what it is that had to be done. So your case is utterly devoid of proof, and even the paint I'm not sure about, because the guy lived there 4 years. I mean, I personally, after a tenant I've been a landlord and a tenant for many years, and I personally, after a tenant leaves, 4 years later, I think the new tenant deserves a fresh coat of paint, which in no way, shape, or form is going to cost $2,600. Give the guy back his security deposit. On your counterclaim, $0, and on his claim against you, $2,100. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck, folks.
Another Sandy case as the fallout from that devastating storm continues. What's your reaction to the outcome here?
Well, I feel the fact that he didn't vacate my premises, he didn't move out to the 17th. I mean, basically, if he would have moved out this November 1st, then he wouldn't have owed a month rent. But he didn't move out. I had to sleep in my office on a couch with my 2 dogs in their dog beds in my office.
And your golf clubs?
And my golf clubs.
Oh, at least you got those.
Yes.
All right. Right around the corner this way, right? All right, so those are his priorities. Step on in here. What's your feeling on the outcome here?
No comments, Kirk. Thanks.
No comments. All right, Harvey.
Okay, here's the thing. Plaintiff lived in this place for 4 years. So the notion of having to repaint a place, and that's a tenant's responsibility, is baloney. That the tenant does not have to pay for normal wear and tear. And after living in a place for 4 years, they're not going to be socked with painting.
Hey, Sal.
Hank, what's going on? We haven't worked a case in years.
I just bought my car at Carvana, and it was so easy. Too easy.
Think something's up?
You tell me. They got thousands of options. Found a great car at a great price. And it got delivered the next day.
It sounds like Carvana just makes it easy to buy your car, Hank.
Yeah, you're right. Case closed.
Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.